Morning, happy Friday. Hope the weekend goes well. Head on the windy side. It's a good news story that came through during the week in horse racing, and that was that crowds over the main fortnight of the holiday season up 30% in Victoria. Hat tip, credit where it's due. Primarily, I think, because Flemington went from New Year's Day to New Year's Eve, which was a big success, but the usual holiday venues like Mornington and Murrumbidgee, Geelong had a standalone city day that was well attended. Tick, tick, tick. I reckon there's a broader story too. I reckon it's an extension, cause and effect, that racing has its social licence back. The Spring Carnival was fantastic. Yearling sale prices are through the roof. Now, they've always been up at the top end. I think 146 million so far in 3 days of Magic Millions. But of course, the true test of involvement is the syndicates and the friends and friends of friends and getting involved in horse racing. It's a really good thing. Every metric is up. And I'm saying that's part of having the social licence back, because it'd be fair to say racing, it was a bit wobbly there for a while. 7 international horses in 8 years died at the Melbourne Cup for various reasons, but the overriding reason was the number was too high. Something had to be done. So onerous threat checks were put in place. Now there's been 5 years, touch wood, that there's been no deaths at the Melbourne Cup. And that's really disappointed some people, primarily the Greens, the ABC News types, you know, the ones who watch the Melbourne Cup with a bottle of Nivea cream and a hand towel next to them, just desperately hoping that something goes wrong with at least one of the runners. And they've been disappointed over the last 5 years. And look, for them, fortunately, they've had an opportunity to go from hating horse racing to hating Jews. And I've thought about it. Maybe they've got something against people who use scissors downstairs. You know, most horses are gelding. Most of us Forbies have had the snip. Well, us male ones have. Well, the male ones who've got a, you know, shouldn't assume anymore. It's 2026. Maybe that's they've got this weird sort of problem with people who use scissors downstairs. But anyway, so while they've gone on to the next group of people they want to hate, from horse racing to Jews, it should be underlined that normal people love horse racing. Now, they don't have to watch it year round like I do, and a lot of people do, but the majority just want to know that the animals are well looked after. And some of the false narratives that have been put across have been able to be put across because of the unacceptable number of deaths in the Melbourne Cup, which was way beyond any statistical realities of half-ton animals running at 60 kilometres an hour. And they're all international horses. The last locally trained horse, I think I'm right in saying this, was that have passed in the Melbourne Cup was a horse called Big Print in 1980 who had a heart attack. That's a fairly decent sample size compared to the carnage that happened. And what happened, there's been a lot of complaints, and I get the frustration. If you've got a good horse and in quotation marks onerous vet checks occur that stop you from running, well, you can stamp your feet, and that's fair enough. For instance, a horse called Cerdelius won a Turnbull 2 weeks before the Caulfield Cup. Half Yours ran 4th in it. Half Yours goes on winning the Caulfield Cup and the Melbourne Cup. Cerdelius gets scratched because of some apparently minor, I don't know, it's kind of spot on an x-ray, or I don't know, nor care. But if he goes on and dominates the Sydney Carnival, it doesn't mean that Racing Victoria need to change anything. It just means that because the Melbourne Cup is such a unique beast, you don't want to give oxygen to the dribblers like the Greens, the ABC News types, who are just desperate to hate people enjoying themselves. So that, to me, was a bit of a metric that racing is another metric that racing has its social licence back. Good crowds up during the summer because people want to enjoy horse racing, be it year round or once a year having a flutter on the Melbourne Cup. It's a great sport with great people in it, and what you don't need is to give oxygen to imbeciles. Like I said, the Magic Million sales are going huge. They've got their big day tomorrow. Sectional Times guru Vince Accardi and I have done a big deep dive, 1 hour podcast into it. Tomorrow we'll update it with a little 10-15 minute with Vince's race speed profiles if you want to have a punt on their big day, and you can get it via my website racetrackralphie.com.au, where I'll also have my Fluminense form. Have a great weekend.